Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this series so far. I'm not really sure how helpful it is, but I've been reading the comments so far and they have been quite positive, so I'm very happy about that. I'm in London right now. I have finally moved and it's been very challenging, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this episode just to talk to you about the process of me leaving Belgium, like the last few days, couple weeks, and my first couple of weeks in London. So let's get into it. So when I wanted to move, it was just very painful because I had all these things that I had piled up in my apartment. I needed to get some dates with my landlord. I needed to cut electricity, return back the modem for my internet and things like that. So I did have a bit of a to-do list, but the problem is that everything depended on my departure date, except that I had submitted my visa and it was taking time. So I couldn't do anything. I couldn't set any dates until I had my visa. And to make it worse, I also had a start date at my work. And so because they said you were going to start on Monday, I needed everything to be done ideally by Friday. And that was just so much stress for me, because the thing is, I expected, when I counted the visa deadline, I expected everything to be ready by Wednesday. It wasn't the case, and I was just sitting there. My visa was not there. Then on Thursday, I had already told my landlord that I could leave and everything, and I had spent my entire Wednesday and Thursday just scrubbing the heck out of that apartment so that it's unbelievably clean, because there were a lot of people who were visiting, etc. And so I would clean it every time. So that was that. On Thursday, I was supposed to leave, right? So I did the apartment visit with an inspector. I had notified the electricity people. I had cut off the internet, everything. And my visa wasn't there. So what I did is that I booked my train for the following day at 3 p.m. That would be a Friday. And I went on booking.com and I checked, I booked a hotel that was just next to me. Now, if you guys remember, I lived in Place Stephanie, which means that I had a lot of hotels around me. So I ended up booking one. The landlord was very kind. He said, you know what, you can stay until you leave, it's okay, even if the lady had already cleaned the apartment. So I did bring a massive piece of plastic, and I thought I would sleep on that so I don't have any accident on the bed or on the sheets or anything. So I had like my piece of plastic, and I would take it everywhere that I was sitting or walking. It was just hilarious. But obviously he didn't know that. He didn't ask me to do that, but I was just being considerate for whomever was going to come afterwards. My landlord was very kind. He said I was the nicest tenant he's ever had. And the guy has dozens of apartments that he rents in Brussels. So like, that was very flattering. And he said, if ever you need anything, any recommendation or whatever, just write to me and I would take care of it. So that was really nice. I eventually ended up getting my visa delivered by DHL at 11:04 on Friday. So I immediately took my things. I went to the train station, and I went very early to the train station just because I didn't want to take any risk, right? I had before gone to the city hall. I unregistered. I told them I was leaving the country, so they took my card, my residence permit, and I went to the station without residence permit, with just a piece of paper that said I was leaving Belgium forever. And I was so scared at that moment. I was thinking, what if there is anything wrong with that visa on my passport? What if they just say you can't go through? Then in that case, I can't stay in Belgium and I can't stay in the UK. But it ended up going well. People wished me luck. People at the city hall wished me luck. People at the police in Belgium wished me luck. It was so kind of them. People were very nice. A bit surprised about me leaving, but fine. I ended up arriving in London, and I immediately went to my hairdresser, obviously. No, that was the following day, but anyway, so I settled. I kind of unpacked my things, tried to prepare a few outfits for my first week at work. People at work are unbelievably nice. It's a completely different vibe. I wouldn't say that people in Belgium were nice because they were kind. They were very kind. They were some of the nicest people I have met. It's just that the vibe in London feels different. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a bit of backstabbing and all these kind of things, and it is quite expected. I don't really mind, but I feel better. The thing is, having been in consulting for over 2 years, I I'm no longer bright-eyed about it. So I was very straightforward in what I was expecting, and I'm still very straightforward in what I expect from the team now. So I don't really feel that I'm going to have as bad an experience as I did before. And it wasn't a bad experience. I mean, this is a bad word. It was more of a challenging one, and it was definitely something that allowed me to learn, especially learn things about me, like the fact that I actually don't complain. And I have a colleague yesterday who told me, in Germany they say if you don't smile, it means if you smile, that means you have capacity. And that's something my mentor told me. He said that you always put up that front that you're actually okay, and that's why people keep piling things up on you. And so now I'm going to have a completely different approach. So I'm still smiling and happy and everything, and I've already had a couple partners who realized that they can count on me, so they've been putting time, giving me stuff. But I know that once I reach my capacity, I'm going to flag it versus just smiling like I used to do. um, I like the vibe so far. People are really overworked. There is a lot more work than when it was in Brussels, but people respect your private life. So most people actually, yeah, everybody doesn't take their laptop home. So they might check their emails, but nobody takes their laptop. That means if you finish at 6, you go home. If you finish at 8, you go home. If you finish at 2, you go home, but you don't take your laptop. That's a good thing. On the weekends, nobody takes their laptop. There is one team right now who's going to be working during the weekend, and it's because they're completely crunched. But I like the idea of having these people, being very conscious and deliberate about it. So I kind of liked that. um yeah, what else? So there was Eid al-Fitr, so that's the end of Ramadan. And so what I did is that I bought these two giant cakes, and I brought them to the office, and I sent an email to the entire office telling them, for those who are celebrating, it's Eid Mubarak, and but for everybody else, there is free cake in the kitchen if they want to. That was a really nice way to start with the team. Um, in terms of paperwork, when I have gotten here, I was supposed to get a residence permit about 3 or 4 days after I had arrived. That's the date that they had said on the paper. But actually, it's been 2 weeks and I still haven't gotten it. So it's a bit annoying because I keep going to the post office to get it and they don't have it. And I was supposed to go to Lisbon in less than 2 weeks. And it's not going to be possible because my BRP, biometric residence permit, is not ready yet. I can't actually hand my passport to a visa office and ask them to give me a visa and not have any official document on me. So that's very annoying. I'm hoping that next month I could go like to Bangkok to make it up for the Lisbon thing, but even that is not sure. So it's the part of the paperwork when you have a Moroccan passport is can be pretty annoying, but I'm working through it. And if it means that I don't get to travel to some places, I just accept it. That's the reality of having this citizenship, so it's okay. um what else? I'm just trying to think of all the things that I've been doing right now. Ah, for me to get a bank account, I still don't have a bank account, so I'm probably gonna do that after I get my BRP, or maybe I'll try to go next week or something. But that's also something that I need to settle. So I need to open a bank account. I decided to go with HSBC just because they are the easiest going when it comes to expats. All the other banks, they want to have sort of a history, or they want to have a proof of address and things like that. I come from abroad. I just moved and I don't have a British passport, so it's gonna be a nightmare. And there was a French guy who just moved to London, and he went through hell with the different banks, but HSBC were very straightforward, so I'm gonna go with that. What else? So bank account for the flat hunting, that ain't happening. I think up to now I have seen something like 30 flats. I have stopped looking in South Kensington because I realized it's a bit far from where I work, so I decided that I wanted to go closer to work but not in my work's neighborhood. And I have discovered, I never thought it would be possible, but I have discovered neighborhoods that are nicer than South Kensington. I discovered Mayfair and Belgravia and St. James, and these are places that when you go there you think you're in a movie. So I have been looking at flats in Belgravia, but they are unbelievably expensive, and so if I end up moving in a flat in Belgravia, I'm gonna end up paying two or three times what I used to pay in Belgium. Just this thought is daunting. Yeah, probably 3 times. I don't even make that kind of money. So because I am very all about, the whole, you want to project certain things in your life and then it ends up happening. And as you guys have seen, I had said I want to get an offer by end of March. I got my offer last day of March. I said I want to move to the UK on June 1st. I actually moved on June 1st. So I am good at these things, but the rent thing, part of me is thinking that the same way that I have been able to manifest all of these things, I could just manifest me being in a very nice apartment, paying that much of rent, but then being promoted very fast within 6 months, and then within a year, and then the following year, such that very quickly it becomes a fraction of what I make. I can't see how, but the same way that I couldn't see how for everything else and made it happen, I think I'm gonna make it happen, because for me it's just something that is so important. I I put so much importance to where I live, and I also have a very acute sense of what is safe for me. So a lot of people would actually not blink at a car passing twice. I'm that kind of person who knows which car passed me twice. I think it's a combination of my upbringing and some of the jobs that I have done. I mean, I have had some jobs where I had to work with law enforcement and criminals and things like that, and so I definitely am scarred with that experience, and I just want to be in the nicest area that I can afford without starving. Because I'm just started a new job on Monday. So I gave my old, it's not the same company, it's the same business, but it's not the same company. So I gave my old phone, and then I had to dig this one that I had for...
I'm waiting for a new one.
Yeah, you might want to go this way,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're not in my video.
I've been many videos.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because lots of people film.
Yeah.
You know, when you're showing properties.
But the thing is, so in a previous job, I used to be in corporate PR, and it was for a US multinational, so you couldn't do that. Like, if you have even like somebody's nose in a photo or a video, you need to get media release consent. So it's more of a professional deformity that I have. I cannot have somebody in my videos, because then I'm like, what if this video gets hacked? What if, and then they find their face somewhere on some random website? They need to give permission before I do anything with it. So, plus I'm very particular about my privacy. Yeah. So I guess it's also just, I'm the kind of person who always asks. But I like it. I think it's very small. Let me see if there is storage here. Is this storage? It's not storage.
Under the bed?
Yeah.
No.
So I'm gonna have to work with this.
Yeah. You know,
and
some of
this.
these beds like pop up, don't they?
Hmm?
So you can have storage underneath. I don't think that one does.
Ah, okay.
No.
Well, alright. I don't need a TV, that's fine. And talking about starving, actually what I have started doing, I did something really, really nice. I need to show you guys. So, by the way, I'm wearing these iris contact lenses. Absolutely love them. Uniqlo t-shirt and Uniqlo shorts. This is a collaboration with Princesse Tantam, which is it's a French brand. But Oops. So I bought a lunch bag from IKEA. I'm trying to open this with one hand. That's not gonna happen. So I bought this lunch bag from IKEA, and I bought a few lunch boxes. So I'm gonna start packing my lunches. So this is my lunch box 1, lunch box 2, and this is the... So I'm gonna start packing my lunches because it's just very... Sorry about the squeaky door. It's just very expensive. To get lunch, it's usually around the $9 mark. And it's just a small lunch, so it's not even like you're eating and you don't feel like eating afterwards. To get breakfast, you're looking at 4 to 5. So, and then if you want to have a drink or something like that. So you're looking at 10 to 15 pounds every day spending. Now, for the first few months, I will not cook. Let's be honest, I will not cook because one, I'm at my sister's and I don't have time for that, because the commute is very far. And second, once I move to my apartment, I'm gonna probably also be ramping up in my projects at that time, because right now I have a lot of work, but I do realize that they're still testing and seeing how good I am, and I know I'm good. So I know I'm gonna end up having a lot of work to do because this office is completely sold out. Like, there is no such a thing as being on the beach or having extra capacity. You're always sold out. So what I'm gonna do is that I start buying things that I can just bake in the oven. So they're gonna be from Marks and Spencer's or Sainsbury's. So these things like roasted veggies and things like that, so I don't have to slice anything or whatever. Same thing for salmon and things like that, and eggs and spinach. And then I'm gonna do that for a few weeks, you know, always pack my lunch. Once I am completely settled, once I am okay with the work rhythm, I'm going to sign up to a gym. So I have the opportunity to sign to a gym, and my job kind of subsidizes part of it. So I'll probably do that next month after I'm back from Bangkok. Fingers crossed if I end up going there. And then what else? After I do the gym thing for 2 or 3 months, once I'm really in the groove, then I'm gonna start, you know, preparing my lunch boxes from scratch. As of now, I'm not gonna do that. So that's where I'm at right now. It's a very slow process. It's a very slow process, the whole resettling, but I'm very happy about it. I still think that it was the right move for me. And yeah. So these are just my thoughts for now. So I will probably check on you guys in a few days, and then, you know, how things went, let you know about my BRP, the residence permit, let you know about my bank account and everything, things like that, because I'm still working on a lot of things. In the meantime, I'm not really sure what is happening with this channel, because I know that it's not the best content to put out there, but I don't even know where my SD cards are. Like, I tried initially to film a skincare routine and I realized I didn't have any SD cards. So instead of trying to put some content out there, I'm just going to just focus on getting my life together, organizing my things, and then once I'm completely settled, I can always do that, right? So that's it for today's video. I will see you very soon on my channel. Take care.